Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan with Project Northeast, and in today's video I want to show you a collaboration between Project Northeast, videographer Harry Fetter, and Joshua Nelson at Claremont Community Television. So a little while ago, after seeing our YouTube video on showcasing Arrowhead's new Enduro trails coming up for the ESC Enduro race that's being held there, Joshua Nelson reached out to me and saw our video and wanted to use it and broadcast it on the local TV station. When I heard that, I was pretty stoked and wanted to do a collaboration with him, and he was nice enough to put together an interview leading up to this race with Rob Walker, the owner of Claremont Cycle Depot and one of the main trail builders, and also Mark from the Parks and Rec department in Claremont. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you've probably seen some of the other work I've done in other local communities, such as North Conway, working with Ride NoCo and the White Mountain Trail Collective. We did a story on the infrastructure trails that they did up there last year. So as a focus, and what I really like to do on this channel is focus those communities that are going basically above and beyond for not just mountain bike in general, but also providing that, you know, really rare source of expert level enduro type of terrain that is kind of missing here in New Hampshire. So I really like to focus that on this channel, and I wanted to show this interview to just give you guys a taste of what they're doing. You know, they're going to be going, I think, even more so than just here. And the interview is a lot to do with the upcoming ESC race, but it's more than that. You know, it's what's going to be left after this race is gone. There's going to be, you know, just left with this trail system that they're going to be able to build on. And I'm really stoked about it. So, and as you know, if you build it, the nerds will come.
If you build it, nerds will come.
And I just think it's great. And I wanted to showcase this to just be able to give you guys some history behind it and maybe some of the future plans that are coming up. And so let's check that interview out. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll leave flags up at the top for, you know, the infrastructure trails from North Conway and the Arrowhead video, so you can check those out if you haven't seen them yet. But let's check that interview out, and hopefully you guys can get some information out of it. Get any questions, leave them down in the comments. And as always, hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching.
I have Rob Walker with me today and Mark Brislin. Rob is the manager at the Claremont Cycle Depot, and Mark is our Director of Recs and Parks. Rob, Mark, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you here. So what's going on? What do we got coming up?
Eastern States Cup racing in Claremont, New Hampshire. So probably not a lot of people that doesn't ring a bell. Nobody's heard of that before, but it's a big enduro mountain bike race.
Okay. So what enduro mountain bike, what does that look like?
Yeah.
I mean, what does that mean?
Sure. There's a lot of different disciplines of racing, in anything, cars or whatever. Bicycles, there's cross-country racing, there's downhill racing. Those things are hard disciplines that are separate from each other. This is a combination of almost all the skills that you would obtain mountain biking.
Okay.
Thrown into one day. It takes the fitness to climb a mountain like Arrowhead here in Claremont. You got to do this one 6 times from the flagpole to the bottom in a day, and then you race. So
they ride their bikes up there?
They ride their bikes, get themselves to the top. There's no assistance on this one. This is a tough one. And then they race timed downhills, 6 stages. So the uphill section is not timed, but it's definitely a battle of attrition for those riders.
Sure.
And then the terrain that we have here is unique in the fact that it is very demanding. We have some pretty technical riding, which tests those handling skills of those riders. So just showing up fit doesn't secure you a spot.
So you've had to have done this before. Are these professional racers, or are they like aspiring professional?
So this is a discipline that a lot of people are gravitating towards because, you know, after they build a certain skill level, they don't want to just focus on one thing. Maybe somebody, I want to be the most well-rounded mountain biker. This is a place to showcase that. So there are different classes in this series. So we'll have professional racers here from all over. We're going to have amateurs in different age groups, and we're going to have kids racing here at Arrowhead. So every age group, and I wouldn't say that there's a novice or a beginner or somebody that hasn't touched a mountain bike before, but there's some newer riders that'll be showing.
So is this kind of a qualification also for another race, or are there ways to build up to different races?
So the Eastern States Cup hosts races all over New England,
Okay.
The East Coast. This is a qualifying event to move on to the bigger show. So there are World Enduros that happen internationally. Eastern States Cup is well known enough. They've put on great events, and if you race and do well, you can qualify in a point series to move on to go to Europe or another country to race.
And I think I read somewhere some of the races you can win some monies.
Yeah, I think the purse for this one is somewhere around $2,000 in the pro class.
Gotcha. So
Yep.
in first, second, third, and then.
Yep, it's Arrowhead.
So have you ever competed in these?
Yeah.
You have.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, this is. I love this.
So you've done that. So were you the person that got it to come to Arrowhead? How did this wind up here?
I think that triggered. Obviously, without Mark, this wouldn't have happened, and in the Parks and Rec department and the vision. But I think through the reputation that this hill built over time, racers from all over the Northeast were visiting Claremont, which is surprising to a lot of people. But the terrain here, I knew what we had. You know, I've been building trails here in the greater Claremont area for more than 15 years, in other parks and here, and just trying to care for them and keep them going. And the word spread, and it became bigger and bigger that people were coming here until that rumor got out. And so I was approached by Eastern States Cup and said, "Where's Claremont? Is this real? And we want to see more."
Right, because I went on the website to go look at all the cities, and it's all international cities: France, Germany, Switzerland. I'm like, holy cow! How did we get selected for that?
So you go ahead.
And there's always been mountain biking at Arrowhead, and I think the last official race was close to 10 years ago. Rob, is that?
Yeah.
And there's always been trails up there, and there's always been group rides. But when you talk mountain biking to most people in Claremont, they say Moody Park.
Yeah.
Right.
But what Rob and his group of volunteers have done over the last 6 months is develop this trail network that people are coming from all over the Northeast and beyond to ride this terrain that's very unique to Arrowhead. And this is what these riders are looking for, the challenge in the terrain, which is exciting for the city of Claremont.
Well, I think there's some really great things happen here. This is going to be excellent for the city in many ways, but you couldn't have pulled this off by yourself. So you got it here, got the incubator going.
Sure.
You got volunteers helping you?
Yeah, fewer than most people think, but there's a handful of people, and I definitely want to mention those folks that have really, there's countless hours into just this event.
Right.
Over the years, it's been one or two people really volunteering and maintaining the trails. We're passionate about it. It worked well that way. I run the bike shop here in town. My hours allow me to get my kids to school and have a little bit of time between that and opening the shop to put into a tree fell on this trail and stuff like that. This effort, we have a young man that graduated. He's worked at the bike shop before. His name's Will Jarsma. He's from Cornish. He's an absolute champion to this event and what he's done on this hill since March. And a professional trail builder out of Vermont offered him a job in the middle of all this, and he wanted to see this through. It's more than I was paying him. I'm glad he stayed. He did it for the community. He's invested here, and he just wanted to see this get done. And so Will is like a huge resource of what he's given the hill as far as this race and the trails. We have people from other communities. Connor Rowan is out there all the time. He's from Ascutney. The view from his house is Ascutney Mountain, where there's incredible mountain biking. The terrain draws him over here. So he's been on this hill for a long time. There's a list of other people that have put in time in, including a volunteer from a professional trail company that's worked in Moody Park. One of their guys is so happy with the terrain here, he gave us a month of volunteer time building on the trails to help us get finished.
So we're clear, we're our viewers here. If I get a new mountain bike and I got a helmet, should I even venture and try these? What are we looking at? Is like skiing, moderate, to more?
So they're definitely advanced trails.
Okay.
And the one unique thing about Claremont, as opposed to a lot of other places with mountain bike trails, people travel all over for different experiences. We have that room, that ability to advance as a rider in one town. So we've got trails in Moody Park that can cater to the beginner and novice rider to build skill sets, to become a better rider. By the time they're getting to Arrowhead, they've mastered everything that Moody has to offer. And so there's that potential for growth within the same zip code. It's awesome.
Oh, well, I think some of the work that you've been involved with Moody Park and how many trails that have been built up, you also put that out there for, as you're building those, you're not only using it for mountain biking, but for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, all those wonderful activities.
Winter fat biking, that
Yes, yeah. So that's been really great, and I know that network has grown quite a bit. That thing, but definitely more technical at Arrowhead, you're saying.
For sure. Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. It's all geography. Like this is all, the way that the land is. It demands a hard trail.
I'm assuming it's mostly people from the East Coast, or do we have any world travelers coming?
I think we do. I saw a story on Instagram of a racer that's coming across from Canada. I think George commented there's folks coming from overseas too, right?
Yeah, and even now, if people are coming, they're pre-writing the course, they're checking things out, they're looking at all the work that Rob and the volunteers did. Right now, mainly probably from around the Northeast.
Yeah.
But you had a visitor from
British Columbia that was hitting the bike parks that were on his checklist in New England. He wanted to make this trip for a couple of years, and this came up on a YouTube video. And he made the stop here. We bumped into him, and it was pretty exciting to hear what he had to say about what we're doing.
So this seems like a big thing for our city. It looks like we're going to get a lot of people here. I've read somewhere up to 300, did you say, folks coming to race that day, or?
So right now, we just got word today that we're sold out.
Completely.
And that's a little over 300 racers.
Wow.
Yeah, just over 300. Yep.
So what are the benefits of having a big race like that for the city? What does that do for us in Claremont?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great economic development, to bring people into the city. They'll be here, they'll be eating restaurants. And just after this race too, at the hype that people are going to want to come and ride, ride this park and ride the trails that were created. We have some bloggers and some YouTubers that have been up there, and that's just been getting the word out and pushing it.
Sure.
And when people come in, they'll spend their money in the community, and
No, it's great for economic development. A lot of other cities in New Hampshire focus on that as their big prime tax revenue, and I think this is a great way to bring outside dollars in. So congratulations to you gentlemen for making sure that gets here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do if we can keep it.
I don't think it's even going to be a one-day thing. I think it's going to reoccur. People are going to come back.
That's fantastic. Well, especially if they get experience here and they want practice, right? They'll come back
Exactly.
and try it again.
One of the eye-openers we had was that there was a World Cup race, and a young man called me and his dad, and it was early spring, a few years ago, can we come up and ride Arrowhead? Are the trails ready yet?
Wow.
Wow, he's about to go to Angora or somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm following this kid's career, and he's looking to come here. Maybe for the quiet, private
Perhaps
track.
for the diversity of the track, maybe it's a little different.
But that's when the light bulb went off, and I was like, wow.
Do we have other areas near us that also provide, you said Ascutney earlier, but I was just wondering if there's other great trails in the area.
There's so much mountain biking in our area. So many great trail networks that get taken care of by different groups. Cornish Town Forest, Cornish, New Hampshire has some of the best trails around. Obviously, we know Moody and Arrowhead. Ascutney Trails is just a hop over the river. They have over 30 miles of single track. Plainfield, New Hampshire has a great network. Most people refer to it as French's Ledges. And all of these things offer a little bit of, they complement what we have so that that rider can be in our area and maybe grow. As a rider, develop skills, get a different taste for different terrain or different trail builders' designs.
Any plans for clinics or workshops for people that may want to get into it?
I've already there's a women's group from the Upper Valley called Glow, and they are working their way through different trails this season, and their pinnacle of their season is an ender at Arrowhead. They're reaching out to grab the lodge and have a little celebration after the girls conquer the terrain here on the hill. So events like that are going to be happening, and I think I can foresee definite events happening around maybe getting people into this terrain that want to, clinics, coaching, stuff like that.
And even mountain biking as a whole. Last year at Moody, we did the spooky ride around Halloween time. And I think we're looking to do that again, which, isn't a race. It isn't competitive. It's getting, kids and families out on the bikes together and, and having a good time. And we're looking to put you on the spot. We're looking to do that again, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to do that.